And Breezy's impaired.
Yes, I am, mentally. I'm one step away from retard.
Yeah, I saw you on TV last night.
Oh, it was showing last night?
Yeah, The Hobbit, The Unexpected Journey.
I see how today's going to go. Right, I see how it is.
I like how he won't deny it, though. He won't deny that he's... Yeah.
That was an epic adventure.
Yeah, he worked hard on those movies.
As long as the
He's like,
stores
those weren't
keep
movies,
having them
man.
come in.
That actually happened.
That's my life, man.
You were there, man.
Really, you could like set up a table outside of a bookstore or something and make money on signatures just for that.
Yeah, practice global fucking...
All right, I guess we'll do something here, like a show. Plus, it's getting late, and it's November 24th.
Show here.
And you're watching a lagtastic broadcast of Mods on Air on, thankfully, Twitch.
2 FPS, 3 RPGs, and 5 sim-type games.
Yeah.
I think you'd be able to come up with one here.
I'm actually pulling this one hard.
Ask all the people that need hacks to play Call of Duty. I can hear you groaning inwardly every time Sin's mentioned. You're just cringing.
Welcome everyone. Welcome to episode 403 of Mods on Air, bringing you the weekend gaming news as modders, developers, and gamers ourselves. We happen to be broadcasting like 10 minutes into the future today, so I'm sorry if you're a little behind. But before we begin, let me remind you all that this show is recorded before a live audience. Well, no, it isn't, because it's in the future. But there may be some pertinent topics if you want to follow along, especially when this show is
broadcasting in front of an audience that will be here.
Yeah, we'll be here eventually. Yes, we'll be putting those topics over on the Mods on Lag has stopped. Awesome. We'll be putting these topics for you to peruse on the modsonair.com website, along with all of our previous episodes. Unless, of course, you're looking for something that goes to Blip TV, because, you know, those asses can suck it. Finally, for those of you who haven't heard the show before, there should be some explicit language or adult themes, because without it, what is life? I don't know.
What is life?
Boring. It is boring.
What is it? We will contemplate this question today.
Yeah, that's a little bit too philosophical for my liking.
Topic 1, what is life?
Well, what is life without id Software? How about that? We can bruise that question.
It's hell.
Ham.
Yeah, I can still see the stains on Ham's cheeks where his tears were running last night after finding out about Carmack. John Carmack leaving id Software. I mean,
in my head, there's a moment where Ham read this, and it's just like that song, the do 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 do, of him just staring off to the distance as a tear rolls down his cheek.
It was this song, right here. Oh yeah.
Honestly, though, this has been so long coming.
Well, he's basically been pretty much absent for going on a year now.
Well, ever since his aerospace stuff started, right?
Yeah.
And then that failed because he didn't win the X Prize. So he had to find something else to get interested in, and I don't know how he fell on the that Oculus Rift.
It's because the Rift is the only thing more complicated than his speech.
Well. Oh, what is... Turn this off.
Just dredging up all kinds of memories for Ham.
I don't know, we saw increasingly worrisome decisions from id Software. I think post Doom 3. I think Doom 3, despite the engine not sort of, I would say, living up to its full potential, it did make some headway. Sinsel Shadow Volumes was a bet that didn't necessarily pay off in the long run, but it was something much different than what we had in previous games. The whole sort of lighting, bringing that to gaming. in a way we haven't seen before, and that was sort of the last big hurrah. The mega texture thing didn't necessarily pan out in such a great on such a great scale that we expected. It was a little disappointing for some people, and I think it shows that Carmack was focused on innovative things, but it wasn't necessarily focused on the implementation of innovative things in an effective way.
Yeah, but you're missing a key point in that progression there, and that's when id sold its marketing and its intellectual rights to Bethesda and Zenitech, and that, I believe, had a lot to do with it as well. And I think at that time, that's when the writing was on the wall for Carmack. In fact, he may have even said, you know what, you guys better do something, because I'm out of here.
I think he gave in before that moment.
In my kind of opinion, it was done when Rage came out.
It was done well before Rage.
Well, yeah, but on a public face, I think definitely Rage, because of how much of a disappointment that game was. It just killed everything, because it was all about the mega textures, right? It was all about this new engine and all, and just nothing came out of it. It was just this massive kind of nothing.
Here you go, Ham.
I don't know. It's when I first saw that news and I saw that headline, I mean, and this is no exaggeration, I sort of got this sort of nervous jolt, like, this can't be, is that true? This can't be real. And then I read the article, and no, this is true. This guy has stepped down and resigned from id Software. I've read the book Masters of Doom. I read it back when it first came out, pre-ordered that book and read it about, it's sort of a biography of Carmack as well as id Software, and just to sort of see the company come from nothing and evolve into what it is today, and have this guy, one of the co-founders, sort of depart from the company. The name might still live on, but really, it's over. It's over. He was one of the last people.
One of the things that I saw on Twitch, and it was actually a pretty good statement, is that Carmack was a pioneer in providing something that hadn't been done before. And there was a few pioneers out there. Carmack was kind of the last one that was still attached to his original IP.
Yeah.
That said, industry has moved away from pioneers and has moved to builders that can keep pumping out a structure. Here's the structure. Here's the structure. Nobody is thinking outside of that structure. And you get locked into that. And the comment that was made is that pioneers make it very difficult for builders to actually do their job. Because if you're not thinking on the exact same wavelength that particular moment of time that pioneer is, say Carmack, and we know how out there Carmack can think, the people that are working under him or for him or with him are having a very difficult time actually doing their job, whether they're a texture artist or whether they're a modeler, because he's thinking so outside the box and trying to push those limits and coming up with ideas sometimes that realistically it's like creating a product that nobody has asked for and nobody wants, but I'm going to create it anyways. And
what are you referring to?
Just everything in general with the way id Software is, where Carmack was a pioneer. Back in the 80s and 90s, he was a pioneer. He came up with these ideas and set the groundwork for a genre of gaming. Nobody is doing that now, and unfortunately, we're looking at corporate dollars running it, and they don't want that outside the box thinking because it's unproven. You can't go to an investor and say, you know what, I'm going to do something that's unproven. I want you to pool all your money into this. They want something that's safe because they have to give returns. So you end up with these builders, they were called, and you've got these people that just build the safe box, ship it out. What's next? Build another safe box, ship it out. the time of pioneers is gone. And unfortunately, people seem to think that, that's because everything's moving to mobile gaming. I don't see it that way. I see that it was forced to mobile gaming by people saying, hey, we're going to provide you something that you didn't really ask for. We're going to take your stay-at-home experience and put it in the palm of your hand so you can play on this microscopic screen anywhere you go. Well, no one asked for that, really. And
it's a sheep mentality, I think, right there. It's people following other people just because, it worked for him, now let's all follow him. And it means they have to run away from something that was possibly working.
And so I think this might be good in a way, in the fact that now Carmack is broken free of potential chains that were holding him, and he can be a pioneer in a different field now. However, we do need more pioneers, or else this industry that we love, the gaming industry, is just going to stagnate and die, because that's really what's happening right now. Is there is no innovation. People keep rehashing the same things over and over and over.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure he's going to do excellent work at Oculus.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, that wasn't a very good eulogy for you.
No, it was, and it's because you made some really great points, and I mean, it was he had a choice to make, and it wasn't like he decided necessarily to quit. He said, or to quit completely. He said that he wanted to stay on as a technical advisor for some reason, I guess because of some weird bureaucratic something that probably didn't necessarily work out that way. And so he said that, I guess he says to himself that, well, if I can't stay on as a technical advisor, my passion, if I were to be honest with myself, lies here in this VR, potential VR movement, and that's where I want to be. That's what he wants to innovate on, and what he wants to bring to fruition, and I can support that. I experienced the Rift, and despite you all's opinions, I'm absolutely positive about it, and I think what he'll bring to the table can only help.
Mm-hmm.
And so
help them. It'll help them. It won't help us. As I still don't see this technology as the future, the Oculus specifically.
I do.
You do, really? Is it because Carmack's involved?
No.
Just following in from company to company now.
No, it was when I sort of first put on their prototype, and I sort of saw what it was, that low resolution prototype, and I was sort of looking to another world.
I've got one in the office. I think it's not good.
I don't know. I think the experiences that are going to be created for it are gonna.
Yes, but this is something that has to end up in everyone's home. So you believe that everyone will buy, let's say, an Xbox and buy an Oculus and connect the two and utilize it for games.
I don't think everybody's going to buy an Xbox or anything like that. I think people who are invested in PC gaming are going to go buy this peripheral. It's going to be sort of maybe a slow start, but once people are starting to sort of have testimonials again and again about it, it's going to be one of these things that you sort of almost have to have, like an Xbox controller if you want to play certain games on the PC to just for it to feel right. Everybody.
I disagree.
About this, and it's got to be, the game has to be designed for the Oculus, and not a lot of games that I would play it would work for. So I don't see it becoming that popular. Like I said, Hawking
it's like the 3D.
Probably does.
Yeah, it is. I agree, Welsh. It's exactly like a 3D TVs. It
has a lot of potential. I'll say that because I don't want to.
It's got potential, but it's running on hype.
Yeah.
The hype engine is slowing down for it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've got a 3D monitor here, and I've used it once.
I think 3D
just to see what it was like.
Yeah,
just to see what it was like.
3D in that regard, 3D on a 2D plane like that, I think it sucks.
I don't understand how you can say that they're so separate. How you can say that watching 3D movies in your living room in 3D sucks, but this thing is going to be the future.
Because unlike 3D TVs that you put on glasses and everything sort of dims and it's sort of weird and your eyes feel like they're crossed, this is putting on something and it's sort of like looking into It's looking into a different world. So I don't have any weird, at least for me, I don't have weird eye strain. I can put on this peripheral, and it's sort of like I'm looking in. I don't know. It's a portal. I'm within this virtual world. Looking at a 3D movie, that's just annoying. It's like looking at trying to.
I think
it's just annoying.
You're just saying you hate it just because you want to hate it.
No,
I've got a 3D TV. I can sit there and watch it all day without a problem. Nothing looks odd. Nothing makes me feel like my eyes are crossed or anything like that. The implementation of the 3D is realistically what is capable when the production is made. If it's something that it's pasted on afterwards, then yeah, the 3D is kind of But if it's actually filmed in 3D, then usually it's pretty good. I don't know that plugging on or strapping the Oculus to your face is going to make it any different. You're going to have things where it works good for and things where it doesn't, and that's judging it as a entity on the whole and saying it's great and this other thing is not great just because of the way things are people are implementing it. That's
I can say this. You're right, because you're right about that. I should say this. All the experiences I've had with 3D TVs, 3D films, it's not been great. It's not been worth that extra cost. And it's for me, it's distracted away from the actual film. I'd rather watch it in 2D than in 3D. Whereas if I could...
I agree. Me too.
Whereas the Oculus, I haven't played a game fully with the Oculus Rift. I put it on, and the potential for me blew my mind. Just sort of that the imagination starts to fire up, and all the different things that could come about, all these different experiences that you can't get now, that would be, or that you can get, but that would be enhanced by sort of being placed in this world rather than just viewing it through a monitor.
And you probably can't share it with anyone.
These sorts of things, though, as well, is this day and age, you cannot have a product that's a slow starter, because if it's a slow starter, it will fail. And so unless this comes out with support straight out of the box,
with Carmack it could, because of his connections.
Here's that's 2 points I wanted to make, and Breezy, you touched on one of them. This Oculus, we saw the prototype for it 2 years ago, just about 3 years ago now, and it's still in development. If it was prototyped back then, and this was not a proof of concept prototype, this was like, hey, you know what, we're trying to implement this thing, let's get it going. And it's sat there stagnating. Path of Exile is a prime example of this. 3 years ago we played Path of Exile. It was playable, and they finally got it released this year, but its relevance is gone. And if that's what Oculus is going to do, we'll wait until their relevance is gone. They're going to fail in that aspect. And unfortunately, I can't remember the second thing.
That went well.
Yeah.
Oh, his connections. Was that your other point? His company connections to get to further the product?
No.
Oh, okay. Because
yes, now I remember the implementation of it. When we first saw it, we played it on a very sketchy Doom 3 rig up, and it was vomit-inducing. The last time we saw it here at the last PAX, they had the HD version of it, implemented quite a bit better, a lot cleaner, a lot smoother. However, what they did was they backed the viewpoint up to the point of it was pointless to actually have the VR goggles on.
Well, that was more to do with the game, though, I think, that was being played.
But here we go with the implementation.
Yeah.
What is the purpose of this if it's going to feel like it's not required? If you're going to say, you know what, this game requires it, make it so that this game requires it. You're not sitting back 20 feet from the face of this cockpit where really there's no reason to turn your head, which I agree with you. Well, that was the exact reason why everybody just sat there like staring into straight ahead, because there was no reason for them to actually have to look around.
Yeah. So
Implementation and time of implementation are going to be the key factors on whether this product succeeds or fails. And it'll happen with or without Carmack's intervention.
I think that the fact that it's already sort of implemented into the Unreal Engine and in Unity, and those things are pretty accessible. That should hopefully help spur a lot of ideas where sort of Oculus Rift first games, because there's so much potential, and I'd hate to see it wasted. Just Hawken is. It sounds like a bad implementation, because it's just you should have a reason. It should be a purpose to look around, to be in that world. You shouldn't be looking through a window.
So if you're the developer and you're making a game solely for the Oculus, and you're 100% implementation, do you now make it so that that game is not playable to anybody that doesn't buy the Oculus?
I think
that's the balance that you can't find with that, because in order for that to be implemented, you have to have a reason to move your head around and have that Oculus on, or else it's pointless hardware. And if you're going to make it so that you have to have that, you're going to segregate your potential clients, your consumers. They're going to say, you know what, I'm not buying the fucking Oculus just so that I can play this game. And that's what's going to happen. You're going to get the people that are going to be hardcore about it, like you. You'll blindly give them your wallet. But a good 70% of the people out there are going to say, you know what, I'm not buying another piece of hardware just to play this game. And so then they're going to come out with a version of this game that doesn't require the Oculus. And what then is the point of having that Oculus implementation?
You make great points, and I don't have any sort of retort. I don't know what to say in response to that. I've only got hope.
Sorry. I realize you're in mourning. Notice he's wearing black today too.
Yes.
I jest him. I shouldn't jest, but I think that the Oculus VR, unless it comes out, and it comes out soon, and it comes out with games that are well implemented and don't have an option for, like, if you turn it on and it implements it and all of a sudden you move forward in the whole viewpoint and you have to look around, maybe, but then that's a lot more work for a programmer, and are they going to do that? But it needs to come out soon, or else it's just people are going to say, yeah, I remember the Oculus. Didn't they talk about that 10 years ago, like with the Phantom console?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Well, hopefully I do. John was, the last time he spoke publicly, he was talking about basically reducing the latency so that it felt still more like looking naturally. So there's when you turn sharply, there's not as much lag. And getting the screen to refresh, and you got into all this technical stuff. So,
and proper resolutions, because you can't read text in those goggles.
Right. So, we'll see. I've got high hopes still.
Well, I wonder if it is this that actually put one of his games on the top 10 over at Steam, because they are number 10. Rage is number 10 over on.
No, it's because it's 75% off this weekend.
Yes, it's free play weekend, 75% off. So
boom. Next.
You can get Rage for $3.
Yeah.
You too can hate it.
I reinstalled it last night, just to give a go.
You rebought it?
Reinstalled it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, reinstalled it.
Yes, here's my money
those
again.
games on that list that are on sale at the moment.
Well,
yeah.
Assassin's Creed just came out. I was gonna buy it, but I can't justify $70.
70.
Yeah,
it's not worth buying.
Call of Duty Ghost, I will not buy another Call of Duty game ever.
No.
XCOM, from what I hear, is just awful. They've ruined their entire series with that. Payday 2, I believe, was on sale.
It's fun, but it better be
pretty fun.
But it better be cheap when you buy it, because I don't think it has any longevity.
Payday or
Payday?
XCOM?
Payday, yeah.
Payday. I'm loving the demo.
Yeah,
No, it's fun.
It's fun. It is a lot of fun, but it's better if you got a group of guys on it.
All right. I don't know X Rebirth.
3 people are probably just buying that because they think they can play DayZ with it.
Arma?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
The Football Manager, I don't really know why people buy that, but Arma 2, people are buying that so they can play DayZ.
Oops, wrong one. Let's get the other one.
Yeah. State of Decay, I think we talked to those. I talked to those guys at PAX. State of Decay.
I played a demo on the Xbox and I was like, okay, this is all right.
Oh yeah, you know what that is? That's that game where it was on the top of the balcony as we were going down, and we saw it like every day, and then that one day we went and looked, and it was. I said something like, "So is it multiplayer? Co-op?"
Yeah,
but the guy was
single
like,
player.
No. I was like, "Oh, okay. Do you have any plans to do that?" And he said, "No."
Red Orchestra 2 is $250 today.
That was a
$250.
good game. That was a good
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
That's worth $250.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely. Until you get stressed out with it and stop playing.
Yeah, it is. It is.
That's pretty much what I did.
It's a very tough game, that one.
All right. And then there was this announcement that we're probably getting ready for another Fallout game. Fallout 4 has been showing up here and there. Doesn't mean it's coming out, but this is what happened with Fallout 3, and I think with at least 2 other versions of Fallout where their name starts getting picked up and prepared by Bethesda Softworks for its release. Which means the game is mostly ready to go, and we'll see the games at E3 or whatever coming up in the spring, and then boom, they're out come fall next year.
I like the Fallout series.
Hey.
So I'm quite looking forward to that. It does come out.
I found it was a little repetitive. You know, like
yeah. and
playing
the-
Skyrim. You want to play Skyrim online now?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Which I'm not allowed
I
to
still
talk
play
about.
Skyrim though. Fair play to it. I do still boot it up.
I really liked Fallout 3. Vegas was not so good.
Horrible on PC.
Yeah, it was. That shouldn't have been a full game release. It should have just been an expansion.
I know I'm in the minority, and I always say this when it comes to Bethesda's games like Skyrim and Fallout, but I don't like first-person shooters where all the enemies feel like bullet sponges, unless I sort of modify my abilities and all this other stuff. I want to shoot somebody in the head, no matter what level the monster is, and have them go down.
Yeah, I get what you mean by that. Because sometimes it was, and you'd have that targeting system, which was cool. But it did occasionally I would die, and it was kind of like, well, I got screwed by the percentages. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like, if I'd have taken that shot just by myself, unassisted, I'd have probably killed that guy. But
That and I think one other thing that's very telling that the game is just not for me, but I have to play it since it's a first-person shooter, is just that it's sort of a do your own thing, sort of make your own way to the end type thing. You can, they just put you in the world and say, go have some fun. Eventually, you'll get to the end. And for me, I want to be sort of told, go here, go here. You can do some other stuff if you want to, but this is where you need to be right now. And I didn't get that feeling.
You just said you like linear gameplay.
yeah,
Yes, I do.
Okay, that's what I thought you said.
I admit that. Yeah, I absolutely do. I like a well-crafted story. I don't like being given too much.
Well, but there's a difference between a well-crafted and led experience versus horribly linear gameplay.
Yeah, on rails. Not allowed
yeah.
to do anything.
Yeah,
I don't even mind on rail stuff if it's appropriately small. If the story is not sort of this epic length just to be an epic length, like
I guess
and
it
the price
depends.
has to be reasonable too.
I gotta say it does depend, because I'll agree that Half-Life, all the whole Orange Box series, they were all very linear.
Yeah, but
Horribly
they were
linear.
the story and the execution was so well done that it didn't matter.
Exactly.
Right. I think for instance, if Call of Duty games were $5, man, I'd be a huge fan of the series. But as they are, despite being the same thing over and over again, because it's like, all right, almost $5, fine. I'll get a different episode of the same thing.
I'll
but-
just have some sort of episode playing those things. I just can't hear it anymore.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So the right price in the right length, I don't mind a linear game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm for it. I'm not opposed to it just because it's linear.
Well, I don't know if you guys saw that, but Half-Life 1, over 15 years ago, that came out.
Jesus.
Everybody's old.
Your life in perspective.
I was, what? Maybe Easy would have been 9, I think.
Did you guys play this game?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember it coming out.
Yeah.
My computer couldn't handle it.
I made maps for it. That's how I started.
My computer for a long time couldn't do accelerated 3D. And which is what it required. And so
Yeah.
Funny enough, I remember playing it at the time, and I didn't particularly like the game. I remember, I can think back to it now, and I remember playing through it and just being like, it was alright.
But then multiplayer. Then you get to play some multiplayer, and that was like one of the better first multiplayer experiences that I've had.
See, I think the best multiplayer, like the best first one I had, was actually on the first Red faction.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
That was some fun multiplayer.
yeah,
That was a short-lived game, though.
it was.
Also made maps for that. And Soldier of Fortune. That was right around the time of Half-Life 2, I think. Half-Life 2
Yeah,
came
it
out,
was.
then Counter-Strike, and then Soldier of Fortune. Counter-Strike mod, not the game. But now, these something that these games all have something in common is we have id Software that pretty much uses the same game engine for everything. We have Half-Life, who's pretty much using the same source game engine for everything. EA is trying to put something together that's very similar here. They're saying that they're trying to come up with one engine and how it can shape all of their games. At least all of the games that they're putting together. They're talking about the Frostbite engine that they have.
It's Frostbite. Frostbite is basically doing that now.
To me, that just sounds like it's... If you've got a base engine to work on, it just means you can churn out more and more games a lot quicker.
That's what I'm thinking.
That's what it sounds like to me.
The one thing with that though is the Frostbite engine. What they're trying to implement it into, it actually lends itself to that type of gameplay. They're not. How can I say it? They're not pushing their boundaries at all. And
No.
yeah, you can churn out games, but what you're going to get is you're going to get the same game. You're going to be playing Battlefield 4, and you're going to be playing Star Wars Battlefront, and you're going to be playing all these games that are just
Maybe
the same
Mass
game,
Effect,
different
they're saying?
skins.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't quite understand how they got Mass Effect from this, because Mass Effect's on the
No.
Unreal Engine.
Right.
That's two completely different...
So
Well, she's talking about the article title, which didn't make sense, but
Yeah. No, because
The next Mass Effect.
it mentions the Unreal Engine in the article.
it does.
And it's just like, well, they're two separate things. What are you talking about?
And of course, we're talking about non-sports games. You're not going to see a
Yeah.
Battlefield 4 sports game.
Madden on the Frostbite. Those new jerseys look amazing.
That would actually mean they have to make something new for the game, other than a jersey. That's not going to happen. All right. So that brings us over to consoles. Consoles are really, really hot topics because they are popping up on the markets. Definitely popping up. So
Here's the thing with the consoles at the moment. I want to ask, like, sort of the group here. Do you have any desire to buy either of them right now?
no.
No.
No, I didn't think so either.
This actually goes back, I think it was last week or the week before, where I was talking about the only reason I'd want one is to play on my TV. I've actually managed to do that now, because I've had a week off, so I managed to sort it out. So I'm pretty much good. My PC does everything that my human needs to do now.
Yeah.
Literally everything I wanted to do, it will do.
I want to
Somebody, I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were surprised that I hadn't bought one of them. I was like, well, why would I? My PC does everything that those two consoles do. I don't have to spend like $600 on a paperweight.
It costs me £10 to get it to actually run on my TV. I just
That's not
bought
too
a
bad.
fucking epically long cable, run it
Good.
on the shelf. And my room's small enough that I've got my wired controller will actually reach, although I'm going to get a wireless one.
Uh-huh.
And I've started using Steam's big picture mode.
Okay.
That thing's pretty good, actually. I quite like that. Now I've actually had hands on with it with a controller. It's handy.
What games have you been playing on it?
CS:GO,
Tomb
you
Raider.
fucking putz.
No, that's a mouse and keyboard experience. Yeah, Tomb Raider, just single player games. Tomb Raider, Skyrim,
Skyrim.
Assassin's Creed. Those sorts of games.
Which reminds me, how is that Assassin's Creed game? Didn't you got a chance to play it?
I got a chance to play it, and it is definitely Assassin's Creed.
Which is code for
feels
it
like
kinda sucks.
As far as I'm aware, the story ended the previous game. This game feels a lot like they've gone, people still have money. We must another
See,
game.
That's exactly what I thought when I saw it. It was when it first was announced. It's just like, so you guys need some more money?
It's a solid game. I mean, there's not any issues with it, but that's because it's the same game. It's like Call of Duty. It's a solid game because it's the same game that has been for the last 4.
Yeah, but the problem with that is it's the same game. Ergo, everything about the game is awesome except the gameplay.
Yeah.
That is unfortunately.
I haven't. Yeah,
letdown.
I haven't picked it up yet. I can't justify that amount of like even $40. I don't think I can justify that.
Did you buy the Batman?
Breezy.
I did. Unfortunately, I did.
Breezy got this as a review copy. So now that he's played it, would you say that would it be worth the cost?
No.
Okay.
No. It's like I say, it's exactly the same game. They were going on about the ships being a lot bigger experience and stuff like that, but it feels like the ships did in the last one. I don't feel any different apart from now I can upgrade my ship.
I know there's a lot of people that were unhappy with the water gameplay from the previous game, and then this one completely focuses around that.
Yeah, there's a lot more of it. I've not spent a lot of time on land.
Because the last one was very much like it felt like a tech demo, more than an actual game. It was kind of like, hey, we've got this new ocean engine, which is awesome. It's really great. You know, it's got waves, it's got everything. But it's just like the actual substance of the game after that was just kind of like, well, this is a bit shit. And I feel like this next one is pretty much the same thing, but it's, we have to have one out because 1, we have to keep, a yearly thing going, and 2, the new consoles are coming out, so we got to have something new for the consoles.
It's alright.
So.
If you get it cheap, then yeah, it's worth playing. I say it looks good. It's just not very exciting. It's very much a case of once you've done something once, you do it the first time, it's exciting, and then it's like, oh well, now I'm just doing that over and over.
The rest of the
Kind
game
of like
is
your girlfriend.
Yeah, exactly. I hope she's not listening.
All right, so
I can't believe you teed that one up just like that. You just kept going too. It's like, this is awesome.
we had so the consoles are coming out there, and they're supposedly selling millions of them. Of course, remember, as with anything, these are what goes out to the retail stores, not necessarily what goes out to the consumer.
This one, they're saying it was 1 million marks sold to consumers.
Something I read about the Xbox is it's ridiculously heavy.
It looks
Well, it's
ridiculous.
a brick. If you're going to buy a brick, they might as well weigh the same as a brick.
But I just thought it was funny that people were surprised that it's so heavy, and it's like, well, what did you expect?
Makes it easier for smashing. How many of these do you think they smashed? We talked about this last week a little bit, how or at the end of the show, how people are buying these, then walking outside and then smashing them on the ground on purpose. And Ham is like, well, people are actually giving them money to do this.
Wait,
Here
isn't
is a
this
video.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a YouTube channel thing, isn't it? There's.
Well, I don't know if
Seen
it's a
couple of
YouTube
things
channel.
for PlayStation, not Xbox, though.
Yeah, this is the only one that I actually saw. They waited on a really long line, purchased, walked outside, and smashed it. Everyone else was sort of a little bit, not as good. There he goes.
What?
Yeah, so that's what they did.
PlayStation 4.
All right. Do you fucking work for Sony or something? Like, it's just it's YouTube. Like,
Yeah.
it's a reaction thing. Like, what?
Yeah.
And the people that are dumb enough to be queuing up in the line at like midnight, going, I gotta get my PS4, are all. Oh my god, he smashed it. So.
Right.
Well, some of these people are going to wait on this line and they're going to be sold out and not get any. So they're watching this and saying, wait. Yeah, well. All right. We also have Microsoft has their SmartGlass app now available for various tablets. And basically this is just a visual remote control for your Xbox, I guess is really what it is, right?
I don't know what it's really supposed to be. I mean, it's a distraction. Am I supposed to be looking at the tablet or am I supposed to be looking at the TV? I can't do
I don't
both.
know. See, there it is. Now he's swiping on his glass to move things on the screen.
So
That's it.
which console? Let's take bets here. Which of these next gen consoles is going to be the first one to implement Google Glass integration?
Oh, no, neither of them. They're not going to have any Google Glass at all.
The Wii U.
Yeah.
I think the Google Glass is a wonderful technology,
Yeah.
but it is going to fail. And that is because of government.
Government?
And I'm not just doing some sort of government conspiracy type thing. No.
Sounded like it.
Somebody
Sounds like you should be in the woods in the shed. Blaming
Somebody-
things on the government.
somebody
You
got
put your
pulled
tinfoil
over.
hat back on before you tell us.
I don't remember what state it is, but somebody was driving in a Midwest state, got pulled over, I think it was like Wisconsin, for wearing Google Glass and was received a ticket for it. Other people are being refused entry into various centers with these Google Glass because they're afraid that they're going to use it for spying or, filming things that they shouldn't be filming. So now if I can't go anywhere I want, and I can't even drive with it, what is its purpose?
I don't think
It has none.
Like, I just don't.
Shoot laser beams out of your eyes. That's what it's for.
Yeah. I don't wear glasses, so why would I want to wear another, like...
Yeah.
And plus, actually, that raises a point. What if you wear glasses? What are you supposed to do then?
They're coming out with prescription ones.
Of course they are.
But it's not actually well, the prescription ones are actually going to be your glasses with the projector in front of it so you can see through it. But yeah,
I don't need to be that blended with the technology. I'm
But-
patient
But
enough.
Oculus, I've got to wear the
No,
Oculus.
look.
Yeah, you don't have the
Hold on.
Oculus. What do you need Google
Hold on.
Glass?
Hold on. The Oculus Rift. I'm at home. I'm sort of laxing on the couch or in an office chair, and I'm playing a game.
The toilet.
Or the toilet. Yes, I'm in a different world in the toilet.
Virtual toilet paper.
That's gonna happen a lot, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Jeez.
The Google Glass, it's supposed to put a HUD in front of you as you're walking down the street and stuff. And to me,
It'd be awesome if it had your health and everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'd buy them just for that.
it looks dumb to me.
Really?
And that's I know that's a silly comment, but cosmetically it just looks dumb. If I saw somebody wearing that, I'd not like them just because they
And
look
the
stupid.
Oculus Rift, what makes you look?
Yeah, like
The Oculus Rift, but you have to understand the Oculus Rift you aren't going to wear outside. Of course, you look stupid with these ski goggles strapped to your face, but you're at home, in the office, in your game pod. Remember that?
yeah.
Well, I'm sure you have a smartphone, some sort of Android probably phone is what you, or an iPhone, but I'm assuming you have Android. Do you not carry that with you wherever you go, and every now and then look at it for instruction or look up a website or something like that? Now, wouldn't it be easier not even to have to pick it up? That you wouldn't even have to touch your phone. It would be right there when you want it.
Yes, maybe.
And now you can look. Maybe you can look at somebody and figure out who they are
But I would
because
just
you happen to have
find
known them and
if
put them in your
they're- if
contacts.
they're
extra
registered
step
sex
of something
offender.
that doesn't.
That's what it's going to be for. You could like walk around Rapeville and see who the registered sex offenders are.
Could be.
That'd be a
got
great app.
Now he's gonna wear them.
Yeah. Sex offender. Wait, stay back. This guy's a registered sex offender. The stream is so laggy. I'm just now seeing the PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
Same.
Which what we didn't realize is that guy's smashing up in his pajamas, which is quite odd.
Well, it's
Because you
midnight.
bought it in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Oh, because you can't put on regular clothes at the middle of the night.
Not in the U.S.
Have you seen what they go to Walmart in? That's
Yeah,
probably
yeah,
Walmart
yeah.
clothes.
Yeah. At least those are
Unfortunately,
clean.
I have. At least you assume they're clean. We don't know.
All right. But what's interesting about both of these consoles, not just Xbox, not just PS4, but both of them appear to have easily replaceable parts that you can just go to the store, replace a hard drive.
And all
Really?
that means is
The old Xbox did.
we're
as
not
well,
going
you
to
could
warranty
replace the hard drive.
anything because
I don't know.
It'll either be that or it'll be like you can only put official Sony HDDs in it,
Yeah, that's going to be the case.
and then they
otherwise
charge you
it's
about
fine.
$50 more because it's a Sony one. No, you think I'm joking?
No, I can see that. That sounds about right to me.
well, this is actually good news for all the people that have bought Xbox Ones because they can go and fix the disk drives.
Oh yeah, then where they get stuck and just don't work anymore.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it.
Microsoft.
And
you-
is that not the same problem that plagued the Xbox 360 on release?
I think it
one of
was
the-
yeah, for a
one of
bit.
the-
yeah.
You're
Split
thinking
grinding
of fire.
disc.
No.
You're thinking fire.
No, that was
No.
later.
The
That was
shattering
like-
disc. The shattering disc is what
Yeah,
was
wasn't
happening.
it was scratching up and/or breaking discs, wasn't it? Which is, I think,
Yeah.
is the same
A wobbly
thing.
disk drive.
And
Yeah.
shooting shards.
Yeah. My eyes! If only I'd been wearing Google glasses.
Yeah, if you had that Oculus Rift on, it would have looked like it was coming right at you.
The Oculus Rift would have blocked your eyes from
Yeah.
getting hit.
Yeah, you'd never know you were bleeding out.
Out of your forehead.
Unless you had the Google Glass with the HUD on it with the health bar.
Then it would tell you.
You were
My
bleeding.
health is going down.
You just get jam on the screen.
Jam.
Yeah.
I'm on the screen.
That's a sketch right there, isn't it? Somebody gets hit
Yes,
by
it
a car while they're wearing Google glasses and they got the jam on the screen.
Because he was eating a sandwich. And he's got to wipe that off. That's actually funny. That is a sketch waiting to happen, isn't it?
That is.
All right. So I hope you're enjoying this Twitch stream. That's 10 minutes or so behind because it's going to only get better when they start adding Major League Gaming.
Oh God.
And because
Is that coming to Twitch, though? I thought they were
No.
releasing their own channel because Twitch sucked so much.
they're going to release their own channel, and it says nothing about Twitch in here. But the next one does say something about Twitch, Minecraft.
Just what we need. More 12-year-olds broadcasting themselves.
It's not it's not just that 12-year-olds are going to be broadcasting themselves, which sounds horrible by itself.
Yeah, it does.
All these pedophiles are all like, what?
But this is what you're going to be watching. I mean, who's going to be sitting there looking for? Oh, I can't wait to watch what little Johnny does today in this Minecraft game.
Minecraft montages going on.
Yeah.
Take a block from the bottom and you put it on top.
The guy in that voiceover right now sounds suspiciously like Cobsway.
Oh my god, it does as well.
my breakfast is gonna have to do. I'm gonna hold my nose.
Now, if that was Corby, he wouldn't be saying hold his nose.
No, that's true. If you're saying hold something else, it wouldn't be as loud.
Find something else to eat.
Is he even here to defend himself?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Everything has been decorated Halloween style. Instead of a bed, I've got a coffin. And look at my
That really does sound like him, though.
It's not crude enough to be Corby.
No, true.
Halloween costume. I've decided.
There's, it's funny. There's absolutely nothing going on in the chat window because they're waiting for the links like 10 minutes after.
Yeah.
I think it looks pretty awesome. I think that's a pretty good look for me.
I know.
Wonder if they can hear us live though, or if they're hearing
No.
us 10 minutes later.
They're hearing us 10 minutes late. The chat window's on time.
Yeah.
The chat window's on time.
By the time they hear what we're saying, it's too late to comment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've invented time travel, people.
We're basically Fox News at this point.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I actually made myself laugh by thinking that.
Oh, wow.
Speaking of Fox News, don't we have a... Oh, no. Yeah, it is Fox News, number 28. That's a segue if I ever saw one.
All right, sure. Really, that was Fox News? I didn't even know that. There is a thing going on here with this senator. Here, let me throw up a picture for you. I don't know if how many of you guys still remember this, the Newtown massacre, where what was that? Somebody goes into a school and starts shooting, and
That was the son of the teacher that was pissed off because he wasn't allowed, and he got into his mom's guns and killed a whole bunch of other teachers and started with his mom. And
Sandy Hook, Connecticut.
Yeah.
Well, somebody goes along and makes a video game based on this, and this senator.
It's just stupid.
And this
Honestly.
senator wants it removed. Wants it doesn't want it anywhere. He's not just saying that it's disgusting and disrespectful. Maybe it is, but he also wants it gone. Which
in the States you're going to have all sorts of problems with freedom of speech.
and I agree with that. I mean, I think this game is horrible. If this person wants to make it, though, they should have the freedom of speech, the freedom to do so.
Yeah.
And
I
I
agree
concur with that. And if you don't, if you're that appalled by it, just don't buy it. And
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, the only reason someone would make a game like this is just because they're stupid. They're doing it for shock value.
Right.
I need to be on the news, so, and I think that's all that is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anonymous
You know,
wouldn't hire them to hack
It's
this website, so they
bad
did
enough.
this.
Realistically, it's bad enough that this Sandy Hook massacre was immediately pinned on the game industry because he played games. It wasn't pinned on the fact that he was a mentally disturbed person. It wasn't pinned on the fact that he had access to guns. It was pinned on the fact that he played Halo and Half-Life or something like that. And that, to me, is just absolute bullshit.
Yeah.
Get the guy the mental help that he needs. Get stop making it so that guns are so accessible to anybody. You open a bank account and you get a semi-automatic rifle. You laugh, but you know what? It's true. Like, you used to get toasters. Open a bank account, you get a toaster. You get and they're hearing the Google Glass stuff. Yeah,
Wow.
You are not caught up.
Yeah. They're there was a store that opened not too long ago.
But sorry, going back on topic here. It's the whoever's making this game is doing it straight up for shock value. I wouldn't be surprised if it was someone in Fox News just making a story just so that Fox News could make a story, because that's what they do. The media in the States really needs to stop twisting everything so that they can get the reaction that they're trying to get. And realistically, that's all this is this game would have gone nowhere, but now they're going to ensure that it goes somewhere because they're going to make a big deal of it.
Yeah.
By the same token, don't pin everything on an industry just because it's going to get that shock value. If you're going to say, you know what, these are the things that led up to it. All right, you've got a mentally unstable individual. You've given them access to weapons of of mass destruction in the sense that, you know what, he can walk into a closet and grab however many fucking guns he wants and go to school and kill his mother, which is what this was all about. He was pissed off at his mom for something. Kill his mom, who's a teacher, and then kill a whole bunch of other innocent people, and then whack himself because he's too much of a pussy to take the fucking responsibility of what he just did. And that's a video game's fault? Fuck that.
Yeah. No, I don't think any game rewards you for killing yourself.
Except for Conjure's.
Unless it's Minecraft.
All right. Going back over to we were talking about Minecraft. I came across another game that somebody shot over to us, asking me or us or somebody to take a look at. I think actually it was me. What's that?
Well, all of us.
All of us. Okay. It was called Mathbreakers. All right, and it's an interesting little game trying to teach people math, which sounds like it does seem like a pretty good game for that purpose.
Yeah, it's an educational Minecraft.
Yep, that's why I wanted to bring it up. It did feel just like Minecraft, and I feel like that this game could go so much further in allowing people to do some more custom stuff with it, being able to play with friends, making this a multiplayer type thing like Minecraft did, and having to use math to get in and out of certain situations.
And they're using this in schools. Like the test bed for this is actually being put into schools, and it's pretty neat actually. You know, you take a numbered block and you can break it into factors. You can, you know, and you have to use those factors to solve the things that are blocking your way. So if you've got a -3 blocking your way, you have to come up with a +3 to turn it into 0 so it goes away. It's not necessarily a bad thing. I don't know that it'll be like you're not going to see 16-year-olds rushing out to play it, but I'd say, you know, K through 6, it's a way to get them playing something and actually learning something. God knows there's not enough of that in schools.
This looks awesome. I'm watching the video now. It looks great.
How are you watching the video?
Click on the link.
I followed the link.
Oh, okay. Say if it's on our show, like you're in the future, man.
Yeah.
I think that the game could still use a lot of development time. I mean, the graphics and the GUI has much to be desired, but I think the concept and what he has put forward already is pretty good. And he built this thing on the Unity engine, if you're wondering. You just picked up pie.
I like pie.
Big fan of
3.154.
Yeah, this
Oh,
is
that
really
kind
awesome.
of pie. I take it back.
There needs to be more stuff like this for sure.
This is sort of the innovation that started gaming. Like the game industry was nothing way back in the day when it was all just text-based games. This is the type of gaming and the innovation of an idea that started this ball rolling. And maybe that's what we need to do. Maybe our entire industry needs a complete reboot because it's gotten so stale and stagnant, and all we're getting is the same rehashed shit. Maybe it just needs to absolutely fail, and we start with all this Java games and these 8-bit games that, you know, as much as we detest, maybe that's the reboot that this industry requires, so that we can get back to something that's innovative and, you know, worth playing, worth being a consumer for.
Yes. Yeah. All right, we're kind of at our hour. I don't know if you guys want to hit the other topics or if you want us to talk about something else.
It don't matter to me.
Cry some more.
Never forget. It's all good. Never forget.
Is he inked on your arm yet? Over your heart, maybe?
Yeah, I'm thinking about getting
a Carmack tattoo later.
yeah, Quake logo right here with my heart.
A little tombstone on your sleeve. Id was doomed. Get it?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I'm raging at the news.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just doomed from the start.
Were those bad? They seemed bad.
Okay, and I guess we don't have anything else to talk about. So I will close the show and thank our host for taking the time out to chat today. Thank you very much, Breezy, for joining us today.
No problem.
Welshi, thank you for joining us today.
No problem.
Ham, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
And Strider, thank you for joining us.
Always an adventure.
I got the name right, too. So finally, I want to thank you, the fans of ModsOnAir.com and the subscribing members of ModsOnline.com for making the show possible. We'll be back next week to talk about games, and maybe even turkey. Alright, happy Thanksgiving, everyone, and enjoy. Thanks for watching this week, and come back next week when we will broadcast another live show. Details for this and all past episodes can be found at ModsOnAir.com. We welcome your feedback via email at mailbag@ModsOnAir.com. And please consider subscribing to ModsOnline.com to support our show. The opinions expressed by individuals on this program are not necessarily the opinions of our sponsors, owners, or partners. They're making Welshi look behind them for some reason. All right.
What's purple? What?
On whose camera?
On Welsh's camera, there's like a line that looks like a crack. It's been bugging me all show.
Where?
It's a wire. There's a wire that
Oh,
goes
it's a
from...
wire! That makes sense.
Oh, this.
Wearing a wire.
Yes.
He's wearing a wire.
You can't. You're talking
I'm
about
on
this.
about that, yeah.
No, about hanging from your head.
Yes.
It's a lamp. It's a cable for a lamp.
Ah, okay.
Because
So
for
that's
some
that.
reason.
Now, what about that person with the tape on his hands behind you there?
Oh, that's just that's Dave. He's my gimp. Don't worry about him. No, it's the lamp though. Is because for some reason in this apartment, all the sockets are in the center of the room. Like they're in the. It's the weirdest thing ever. So like, why would you not put them in the corner? It just anyway.
Because by law, you have to have a socket for every X amount of feet of wall space. So they divide the room up as evenly as possible to put as small a number of sockets as required.
That's stupid.
It's realistically what's going on. Don't put a socket where it'll be useful. Put a socket where
It's in
They
the
say
way.
We're not
Yeah.
educational. Jeez.
well, where you're not going to have to put a second socket on that same wall.
One socket for them all.
One socket to rule them all. There you go.
Yes. All right, so ending video. Anchorman 2 is trying to push Dodge, apparently. So, here you go.
You know, a lot of people will tell you about the Dodge Durango's available Hemi V8 engine and 360 horsepower, but I'm the only one with the guts to tell you about this glove box. 0.1 cubic feet of storage, 12-volt light bulb, all in beautiful injection molded thermoplastic olefin. Comfortably fits 2 turkey sandwiches or 70 packs of gum. Say what? Look, I'm not lying. Gum for days. Is this a gumball machine? No, it's a Dodge Durango.
There you go.
There's a whole bunch of them.
There's a bunch.
yeah, there are.
Yeah, there are. Awesome. I've got a kid on the screen with a green.
Yeah.
Eh?
I don't know.
I don't know what
He's
that
talking
is.
about the chat when the stream. It's the Mathbreakers.
The actual
thing,
stream.
On
What
your
is
screen.
that? What are we looking at?
isn't it? Mathbreakers, I think.
Apparently looking at kids. Okay.
Hey, whoa. let's not get that taken out of context.
Yeah. All right, so we're out of here. Everyone, you have a great week. Enjoy that turkey. Don't forget to drink one for Carmack because that's it for him.
440.
Yes.
Pour some out for Carmack.
Yeah, 420 for Carmack. Speaking of Thanksgiving, EA sent an email out to everybody, and you can vote on your favorite game that will be $1 on Black Friday. So watch on Black Friday. There's going to be an $1 game on Origin. It's either going to be, what the hell was the choices? It was Battlefield Bad Company 2, which yeah, there was Sims and a football manager or something along those lines. But it'll be.
I'm going to vote for the
just so
worst
you're
one.
aware.
Joy.
Great, yeah.
Everyone vote for the one that's the worst, because who cares?
Sims 3 Pets, Battlefield Bad Company 2, or FIFA Soccer 12.
Games that nobody wants, great. And they're
Pretty
doing us a
much.
favor.
Yeah. November 28th to buy the winner for just $1.
FIFA 12. I believe FIFA 14 is out. That's a 2-year-old game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But all they
so
did was
Sims-
change the names on the jerseys. So
Well, yeah, but no, this year, no, this year they got crowd physics.
Oh,
you can have a riot in the crowd.
Yeah, I
Drunken
laughed.
fans.
I
How with
fully
50%
laughed.
more drunk people.
Yeah, I fully laughed out loud when I saw that at crowd physics. Sitting in a room by myself laughing, just because this year we got crowd physics.
The hell, physics.
that's what we worked on all year.
Yeah.
Hey.
So yeah, The Sims 3 Pets has my vote. I can't wait to play those dogs or fish. Pets.
Just see Ham sitting there. I was doing a fish face.
Yes.
You guys probably can't.
You were.
I could.
You'll-
You
guys
had to
will
do
see
it this
that
way
laugh
because
out
of the
on
Oculus he
video
was
cam.
wearing.
Yeah, with his Oculus. He will be the fish, man. He will be the fish.
This is what life is like.
All right. Twitch feed's coming to an end. Everyone sign off because we don't want to watch the commercials. They do
No, we
nothing
don't.
for us. All right. Adios.